Hello and welcome to Glatfelter Insurance Group's Drive Safe video. Glatfelter Insurance Group insures hospice, home health care, senior living communities, religious organizations, emergency service organizations, towns, municipalities, as well as sewer and water authorities across the country. Our customers operate a wide variety of vehicles. You may even find that during this short video, you'll be able to imagine yourself in the driver's seat.
Do I have everything for today's meeting?
Man, I got a lot of halls to fit in today.
I wish I would have gotten more sleep last night.
No matter what type of vehicle you drive for work, it's up to you to be a mindful, aware driver. We live in a mobile society, and when work involves driving, it's easy to become distracted by everything that may need to be accomplished that day. Or you may be lulled into a routine because you've driven the same route hundreds of times. Motor vehicle-related incidents are consistently the leading cause of work-related fatalities in the United States. 35% of occupational fatalities are associated with motor vehicles. The most common type of vehicle accidents experienced by Glatfelter customers involve backing up, turning at an intersection, and leaving the roadway. And the most severe vehicle accidents involve head-on collisions, hitting a pedestrian, and rear-ending another vehicle. These statistics point out the need to be an alert, defensive driver, aware at all times of other drivers and weather and roadway conditions. What can we do to drive more safely? Let's take a look at distracted driving first. We know we need to be a defensive driver, but that it's difficult with all the distractions we face. Distracted driving is any non-driving activity that has you take your eyes off the road, take your hands off the wheel, or take your mind off what you're doing. We want you to go home safely from work each and every day. So let's review some ways you may be able to reduce the chance of being involved in a vehicle accident. Even though our lives are fast-paced and our demanding schedules often require multitasking, it's important to resist giving in to distractions while driving to avoid dangerous and potentially deadly consequences. Vehicle accidents take a significant toll, both financially and personally. Accidents cause injury and death, legal liability for drivers and their employers, lost time, lost productivity, and serious morale problems, all of which detract from an organization's ability to do its job. There are so many things competing for our attention while we're driving. Some might seem urgent at the time, but they can lead to an accident and irreversible damage. Other distractions seem to simply be a part of our day. We need to be aware of weather and road conditions and drive accordingly. Slow down when weather conditions aren't ideal. Keep your headlights on, not just at night, but during bad weather as well. We also have to stay alert to navigate obstacles that can lead to accidents. Is it any wonder we're distracted? But how do we focus? How do we minimize the likelihood that an accident will occur? How can we drive defensively? We have to ask ourselves, what is truly urgent? And is it worth taking driving for granted and risking dangerous behavior? Accidents can happen to anyone. Even if you've had a perfect driving record, it only takes one instant for an accident to occur and for lives to change forever. Knowing all this, the question is, why would you do anything while you're driving but drive? You would never consider drinking on the job, and yet using a cell phone while driving delays drivers' reactions as much as having a blood alcohol concentration at the legal limit. Here's one way to change distracted driving into defensive driving. Turn off your mobile phone before getting into your vehicle, and turn it back on when you get where you're going. Is anything so urgent that it can't wait a few minutes, an hour? You could take a chance, but is it really worth it? It matters how you're feeling. Of course, you know not to drink and drive, but you should also alert your supervisor if you're taking prescription drugs that could interfere with your ability to drive. Make sure you get enough sleep before you get behind the wheel. Be mindful of speed limits. Getting there safely should be your top priority. What about when you're angry, maybe at another driver on the road? Being overtired, stressed, or emotional is a distraction that can affect your response time and driving behaviors. Driving challenges are all around us, and we must be alert to them. A clean driving record may be a condition of employment. It's recommended that employers check the motor vehicle records of all new hires and then once annually thereafter if driving for the job is required. In fact, it's a privilege to operate any vehicle, and you may need a special license, such as a CDL, to drive certain larger vehicles. We've all had bad days.
Where are my notes? I can't believe it's this late. I'm never gonna get there on time.
But of course, you're not the only one on the road. And everyone who's on the road has responsibilities, schedules, deadlines, and distractions of their own. So what do you do?
Wait a second, where is this meeting? Oh man, I'm the last one here. Okay, got through the meeting. Now, 15 minutes to make it across town. Oh great.
You're in your own hectic world, but there are others on the road too who are dealing with their own busy days. You can only control your own actions and responses. The best way to do that is calmly and with a clear mind. Okay, wait a second. Let's back up. You see, you are the solution by practicing defensive driving. You can avoid being distracted, and you can be aware of others who might be distracted. One saved life is worth it, and that life might be your own. Organize yourself ahead of time. That'll make driving much more comfortable and focused.
Okay, everything's in order, dishes in the dishwasher, and I'm out of here.
Make sure your vehicle is neat so loose items won't roll under your feet, obstruct your vision, or interfere with your driving in any way. Also, know where you're headed before setting out. Another good step toward effective defensive driving includes parking before you eat and drink in your car. Give yourself the time you need to be safe and productive. You can't know what's going on with other drivers, but you can help prepare yourself for the unexpected. Awareness and defensive driving can save lives. If we can prevent the likelihood of an accident occurring, we should. So, what are some keys to being defensive on the road? First and foremost, pay attention to driving by removing distractions. Scan the road, remembering to check your mirrors often and check your blind spot. Vehicles can quickly come up on you and be hidden when in your blind spot. There are real risks behind the wheel and real solutions to reduce those risks. Make sure your vehicle is in good working condition before you drive. Safe driving begins with a reliable vehicle. There are some basic areas of maintenance that you should keep in mind before setting out on the road. Once in your car, make sure everything is adjusted to your best setting. These steps are especially important if you share the use of a vehicle with others. The driver's seat, the mirrors, and the steering wheel should all be adjusted to your comfort. If you're driving long distances, take time for breaks, at least every 2 hours, to keep yourself fresh. Don't let distractions control you. You can control your situation. Whenever possible, back into your parking space. And speaking of backing up, if you have to back up, there are strategies to make it safer. Don't take anything for granted and ask for help whenever possible. Remember, things like mirrors and backup alarms are helpful aids, but don't rely on them to make backing up safe. And if you don't know what's behind you, get out and take a look around before backing up. Take your time and take safety into consideration. There are many things we can actively do to help promote safer roadways. We need to be respectful of laws and of other drivers. We also need to be aware of road conditions and drive appropriately. These are all choices that lead to safer roadways. And for all workers who drive on the job, employer safety policies and training programs are a critical element in reducing crash risks. Safe driving requires our complete attention, and working with heavy equipment and specialty vehicles requires particular awareness and focus. As with passenger vehicles, distractions are plenty, but also be aware of your vehicle's characteristics and performance capabilities. No matter where your day takes you, remember to stay alert and drive defensively. Pay attention to road signs and changing conditions. Be mindful of those around you. Your employer counts on you to get a job done, and the community trusts you to do it safely. Avoid distractions. Defensive driving is mindful, aware driving. Be attentive. Watch for fast approaching vehicles. Beware of erratic drivers. Understand the speed and limited vision of larger vehicles. Identify road hazards ahead of time. Anticipate intersection light changes and be extra cautious at intersections. Be prepared to stop. Cover the brake. Stay out of other drivers' blind spots. Leave yourself an out. Scan ahead and plan your route. So, what's the bottom line? Personal responsibility and mindful driving. You can do it. On behalf of Gladfelter Insurance Group, thanks for being with us today, and stay safe out there.